What is going on, guys? Youngster JPL back again, once again. Now it's been a fucking long time, but I'm here with a Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle today. I have a Monotype battle against a great guy called Maco, not really too sure how to pronounce your name, sorry. He does have a YouTube channel, so be sure to go check him out. We'll leave a link to his channel in the description. And yeah, so today I decided to go with a Mono Flying type, just because, you know, I figured with the Gyarados and the Gliscor, you know, they form a fairly well defensive core. But unfortunately my opponent has brought a Mono Water type, which kind of does give him that upper edge, just because Water types do have a fairly good access to Ice type moves. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and let the battle begin. So seeing that Swampert on his team, I know that he's definitely going to want to try and get his Stealth Rocks up very early on in the battle, just because all my Pokemon are flying, so they will be weak to it, with, you know, Charizard being ×2 weak to the Stealth Rocks as well. So I decided to lead off with my Swampert. He leads off with the Swampert, I lead off with my Gyarados, knowing I can get the Intimidate off as well, which is going to cripple his attack, and I can straight away go for the Taunt on the first turn. As you see, he is going to want to go for the Stealth Rock as well. And, you know, I was very tempted here to go for the Thunder Wave, predicting the switch, but, you know, I decided just to go for the safe play and go for the Stone Edge, just to try and get some damage off on whatever he does decide to bring in, because, you know, that Rotom Wash switching was fairly close as well. As you can see here, I do decide to follow up with the Thunder Wave, but unfortunately, you know, who the fuck knows, a Azumarill running Lumberry. It's the first I've ever seen of that sort, and he's just going to straight up go for the Play Rough. Is going to do a lot of damage, is guaranteed 2-hit KO even after leftovers damage, so I know that I definitely cannot stay in and take another one. And, you know, I make a very risky play here. I predict him to go for the Play Rough again, and I decide to bring in my Charizard, which is going to resist the Play Rough because it is Fairy type and I am Fire type, and that doesn't quite do half damage to me, and like, I am able now to get the Mega Evolution off very early on in the game, which is going to be absolutely crucial as well, because I am carrying the Drought Mega Charizard Y with the Solar Beam as well, which is going to hit for at least neutral damage. What's going to hit for super effective damage on all of his Pokemon, 2 times 4 super effective against his Swampert, as well as being you know, neutral against the Gyarados as well. So I am going to go for the Solar Beam here, which is going to do, you know, a fairly good amount. I can't remember if it does actually take him out or not. He went for the Aqua Jet, and it is actually, yes, I do remember now, it straight up takes out the Azumarill, which is, you know, absolutely fantastic, taking down that massive threat as well. But I am on fairly low HP here, and the way he brings in his Keldeo now kind of tells me he's going to be Scarfed. So I definitely don't want to try and risk, you know, staying in. I do want to try and keep my Charizard around for later, just because he does have that Solar Beam, which does threaten most of his team. So I make the safe switch out here now into my Gyarados, which, you know, is especially defensive, and it can quite nicely wall that the Keldeo. You can see the Hydro Pump doing absolutely nothing, especially in the rain as well. And you know, again, I'm kind of in the same situation as before here. I can either go for the Thunder Wave and try and cripple something, but I know that Rotom Wash is going to come in, but I'm too scared to try and go for the switch as well. So again, I just go for the safe Stone Edge as well, but unfortunately I do miss, as he does bring that in as well. So yeah, knowing that the sun is up as well, he's most likely going to go for the Volt Switch. Even if he does go for the Hydro Pump, with the sun being up, I should be able to take at least one, but he makes a very, very nice play and goes for the Will-O-Wisps as I switch in my Gliscor, which is, you know, pretty much game-changing at this point in the game, because I am Toxic Orb, Poison Heal Gliscor, and of course, being burnt now, I'm not going to get a chance to, you know, basically Toxic Stall the rest of his team. And of course, he is now going to take the opportunity to bring in the Swampert as I go for the Toxic. Doesn't really matter too much, but of course he is going to get a free turn now to basically set up the Stealth Rocks and potentially win him the game, because, you know, we know that my Charizard is at, you know, the point where Stealth Rocks will kill him, and with everyone else being weak to the Stealth Rocks as well. You know, it's pretty game changing, to be honest. So I decided now that I am going to want to switch in my Charizard Y, just because he is most likely going to want to go for the Stealth Rocks. So I want to try and get my Charizard in as early as possible, and you know, not die to the Stealth Rocks upon entry. So with my Charizard in now, I know that I can threaten out his team with the Solar Beam as well, and I know that the Gyarados switching isn't going to be very likely, because that is most likely going to be his Mega Pokemon that he is going to want to try and set up and sweep with. So I think I am fairly safe to go for the Solar Beam. He does bring in his Tentacruel, which again is a very, very nice switching, as I do kind of unfortunately do get a critical hit here, which works out very nicely for me in my favour. But still, even with the critical hit, it doesn't even do half damage. and I'm basically forced now to try and get off as much damage as possible with my Charizard and try and take down this tentacle. Maybe, you know, fishing for a flinch there, but of course that isn't going to happen. So just go for an air slash. But of course, you know, I live with that clutch 2 HP after the tentacle goes for the ice beam, which is unstabbed, most probably uninvested, and neutral against my Charizard as well, as the following air slash isn't quite going to be enough to take him out, as he can just kill me off with the following ice beam. Of course gets a crit as well, which 100% does, my man. What the hell are you doing? So of course, you know, I'm kind of in the position here where I can just kind of come in and revenge kill us off with the Banded Swallow, knowing that I kind of had the Banded Swallow and that Will-O-Wisp did hit my Gliscor. If I could have got the burn on my Swellow, Guts boosted Banded Swallow Facade is, you know, a force to be reckoned with, but I do just kill him off with the Facade. I'm boosted as well by the Guts, as well as the Status Infliction as well. So he's going to decide to bring in his Swampert now, and again, you know, not really having anything that can kind of take this thing down. I do just kind of go out into my Gyarados, kind of like looking to sack it, in all honesty, but of course I do get the Intimidate off as well, which is going to work out very nicely in the long run, as I can, you know, bring in something after he does kill me off as well. But you know, my opponent does make again a very nice play here. I was very tempted to go for the taunt, but I decided that getting damage off would have been better. But of course we do find out now that I should have gone for the taunt, as Swampert is gonna go for the raw after all the poison damage and leftovers, you know, kind of take their toll on the match. But of course, you know, like I said, I do just go for the waterfall. Isn't going to do much at all because I am uninvested in the attack, and he's just going to go for the roar as well. Definitely should have gone for the taunt there. Very good play on my opponent's half. Of course, as well, you know, with the Stealth Rocks taking their toll on my team as well. Swallow down, you know, basically half health. I can only switch him in twice more now because of that. So roar me out into Swallow is probably, you know, the better Pokemon he could have switched me out into. I can just go for the Brave Bird here, thinking it's going to kill, you know, Banded Swallow, Brave Bird, but of course it isn't. Swampert is just too damn bulky to be living that shit, and of course Swallow being the frail bird that he is easily going to die to that waterfall from the Swampert. So I'm not looking like I'm in the best positions here. I've lost my two main sweepers, and of course my Gliscor is crippled as well. His whole kind of usage in the OUT of being able to Toxic Stall everything is completely gone. But anyway, knowing that this Swampert is basically dead at this point as well, I am going to go for the safe U-turn with my Boombox. Brings him in, and of course this is going to kind of look like my Noivern is Choice Scarfed as well, which is going to be kind of very nice just to try and play the mind games with my opponent. And here I decide to bring in and sack my Gyarados as well, so that we are in the position of a double down, meaning that I can bring in my Noivern back into the battle and have a fairer matchup against whatever he does decide to bring in. So I think that's a kind of smarter play on my half, just because, you know, I'm in a position now where I can get a free Specs Dracometer off on anything I like. Fortunately, he decides to bring in his Rotom Wash, which is, you know, easily going to die to the Specs Draco Modest Noivern. Easily going to straight up take him out. Probably isn't a specially defensive Rotom. I'm actually not too sure on what set he was running, just because it dies in straight away. And you know, now this is kind of the where the onslaught begins, as it were. As knowing that I kind of the Dracometer isn't going to do much at all now. Thinking about it, I probably should have gone for the Dracometer there just to try and get some damage off. I don't know whether my Noivern would have outsped the Gyarados as well after he goes for +1, but of course here, you know, we do see him just go for the Mega Evolution, and of course is going to go for the Dragon Dance, and it is basically good game at this point. Although I do have my Zapdos in the back, which is Choice Scarfed as well, should be able to come in, hopefully take down the Gyarados with the Thunderbolt, and of course will kill off the Keldeo as well on the following turn. But you know, he's going to make the smart play. No messing around with this guy. He's just going to straight up Dragon Dance 4 times, get himself up to +4 speed, +4 attack, and is easily just going to be able to sweep through the rest of my team. So I'm basically going to try and like key the outro here now, to be honest. There's not much I can really do against the +4 Mega Gyarados, of course, you know, with the limited Pokemon I do have. So but anyway, I do decide to get the Toxic off on the Gyarados. I go for a substitute stupidly, because, you know, I know that he can just basically Dragon Dance for the win now as well. I should have gone for the Earthquake. But yeah, anyway, I'm basically just going to let this thing pan out. It has been a very long time recording. It kind of feels quite weird recording as well, actually, you know. Still kind of trying to get back into the game, but you know, I am back. I've done a bit of Poke admin as well with my Pokemon. I've sorted them all out into the tiers, so I've got a box full of Uber Pokemon, you know, a couple of boxes of OU, UU, RU, and of course NU. So hopefully be back in the game, looking to get a few more Wi-Fi battles for you guys to watch over the next few weeks. I am actually hopefully heading off to York University in October, and you know, hopefully, you know, student life will treat me well, and I'll be able to, you know, spit out YouTube videos for you guys all day long. So anyway, guys, my name is Youngster JPower. It's been great speaking to you guys once again. If you could be sure to click the like button if you enjoyed the video, if you'd like to see more. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well if you do want to continue seeing content from me. And I have got a Twitter account as well. It'd be great if you could give me a follow on that. And I have also recently created a Facebook page as well, so I'll leave links to all them things down in the description. And of course, I do predominantly look for battles in Skype as well, so add my Skype, it's just jpower95, and of course, you know, as always, I'll see you all next time.